All right. So first and foremost, let's recap on the homework. Okay. So first and what the fuck? Sorry, my iPad's lagging. So first and foremost, the first homework that I gave you was marking levels. Okay, marking levels just to make sure your understanding on all the 5 types of SNR is solid. Okay, that's all I wanted to make sure during the first session. So the first type of SNR is, of course, we have classic. Okay, and then we have breakout, and then we have gap. Okay, this one is very, very important. I love this guy so much. And then we have HNS. Last but not least, we have BO. Okay, nice. Okay, and then our second homework was weekly and daily. So the point of this homework was to make sure you understood that price, the big movement of price, usually comes from the weekly. Okay, and in the middle of that, you're going to find that daily pushes it. Daily pushes price. The daily levels push price in order to get to the next destination. And so at the end, but then you will also observe that in the middle of price going from the weekly to the next weekly, you're going to find that price goes up and then goes down, goes up and then goes down, and then goes up again and then goes down. And over here, you're going to understand that the reason price goes up in the weekly cycles because of daily levels as well. And it goes down again because of daily levels as well. Weekly. That was the point of the next one, the last homework, to make you understand that daily is here to help. Okay. The thing is about me is you'll never find me entering at these kind of levels. You won't find me enter over there because in my point of view, I don't know whether a daily level will be respected or not in the weekly cycle. Because if you've done the homework well, you would see that a lot of daily levels they broke and then randomly it took this level. So I wouldn't be taking any of my, if we are in a weekly cell, I wouldn't be taking any of my buys at a daily level. But then once it reacts and it does the breakout that I want it to do, I will continue buying. Buy and buy and buy until next daily level. And then over here we close everything over here and then start selling again for your next, because this is just a pullback. This stuff is just a pullback for it to go lower following the weekly direction. Okay, cool. So that was the point of the second homework, to understand how weekly and daily works in your analysis. Okay, so first, second, done. Now let's go for entries. So for entries, so this session, I'm just going to be talking about SNR. For our final session, we're going to be talking about trend lines. Okay, because I feel like SNR, I want to do a homework on your SNR first, and then we'll do homework on trend lines. So this is separate lah. Okay, this is today we're going to do session 3, and this will be session 4, and then session 5 is basically just a recap lah. Okay, and as usual, our sessions will be either Saturday or Sunday, and maybe we'll skip a week, but we'll not skip 2 weeks lah. We're maybe going to skip a week, or maybe it's going to be next week. Who knows? Okay, so let's talk about SNR. So first and foremost, what makes a level valid? Okay. I want to ask you, there are many levels here. Okay, so I'll mark boxes lah. You know what? I'm going to mark how I mark it. I'm going to mark using my lines. So the first thing you're going to have to be familiar with is fresh. The term fresh. Why? What's with this term? Okay, so fresh is basically when a level hasn't been touched by any price, by a shadow most of the time. Okay, if the shadow touches it, it means that it is not fresh. Okay, and so how did I get the idea? First of all, my way of looking at an SNR is basically I will first of all find fresh SNR. Okay, and then the criteria for the fresh SNR must be the second or more. Okay, so let me show you what I mean by this. So I will totally ignore this level. I will totally ignore this level for my entries on this candle. Okay, for my buys for this candle. Why? Because it's the first level. Okay, and then, but I will be focusing on this level. Okay, so this level used to be fresh. Okay, imagine we are in this candle. Okay, so I want to buy over here. So first of all, our first criteria is second and above level must be valid. Okay, and so next we open H1, and on H1 you can see that it's not fresh anymore, correct? So if it's not fresh anymore, take the next one, the next fresh one. That's how I get my SNR. So first of all, find the fresh SNR, and the SNR criteria must be that it must be the second level or more. Okay, it must be the second level or more. Next, must, and then second, must be in line with daily or weekly. H4 alone is not enough. Yes, you can. H4 is a very special time frame. Why is it a special time frame? It is because H4 is a type of time frame, right? No matter daily is in a buy or is in a sell, H4 can like what is kacau?
Can influence.
Yes, H4 can influence. But then the thing is, it's always high risk. If weekly, let's say daily say buy, H4 say sell, don't entry on the H4 because there's only a 50% chance, no matter how solid the H4 level is. So basically, use H4 and H1 to follow daily and weekly. Okay. So first of all, find fresh SNR, and the criteria for the fresh SNR is it must be the second level or more. And then second, it must be in line with daily and weekly. Okay. H4, sometimes you're gonna see, bro, why did it go down here? Try looking at the H4. There must be a reason. Okay. And then, but then that one is not, I wouldn't recommend you to entry at those kind of places because those kind of places are risky. You want to protect your capital. Okay. And H4 and H1 is just to follow these time frames. Okay, I like to ask a question. If weekly say sell, daily say buy, would you buy first or sell first?
Buy first.
Correct. Why buy first?
Because we are not because price will go up first, and until it made daily sales.
Correct. So while you are in a daily buy, even though weekly is selling, the price will go up first. So use H4 and H1 to follow the trend of daily until it reaches the next daily level. And when it reaches the next daily level, don't forget to sell, because the best swing points, let me tell you, the best swing points come when daily follows weekly. That is the best swing setup. So someone asked me, are my trades swing? Are my trades intraday? Are my trades scalping? To be honest, I don't have an answer to that, because at the end of the day, I'm just following what the time frames tell me. If I and someone might ask me, oh, you're taking a trade on the H4. Are you swinging? And not necessarily. I'm taking a trade on the daily. Am I swinging? Not necessarily. I'm taking a trade on the H1. Are you intraday? No, I'm swinging. And people are like, what? Why? Why is it? How come? How come using H1 or H4 you can swing? How come using daily you are just doing intraday or scalping? So basically, this is the reason. There is no answer. To me, I think scalping, intraday, and swing are just illusions. All you have to do is just follow the time frames and do what they tell you to do. And so you will, and then the time frames will decide how long you hold your trade and when you'll take profit on your trades. Okay. So, second criteria. Okay. So, first of all, you have to understand this. For H4 and H1, it is very important that, okay, so you're going to see a lot of these kind of levels. Okay. Let's say this is SNR. Okay. This is a classic SNR level. I have a feeling that today is going to be a very short session because we're done with direction already. But it's okay. It's okay. Okay, so this is what we call as miss. Okay, this thing here, it doesn't need to necessarily need to appear on the line chart. Sometimes, right? Sometimes what it does is basically bull candle, bear candle, and then you'll see this. This shadow is already considered as a miss. And so you pull the line here. This is a good level for SNR. For sell, correct. And I would take this level. Why? Because this is your first level and this is your second level. Understood? Okay.
I think
Yep.
I have a question regarding this criteria that taking the second level. There's a trade that there is a buy level that you show daily buy level this week. Can you show the gold chart?
Yeah, the sorry, the gap.
Yeah, daily.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, this level I think is the first level.
Yes.
So the criteria, the first criteria, we don't need it. We don't need it here in daily levels.
Correct. For daily and weekly levels, just take any fresh or second touch. Sometimes the third touch can work, but at the end of the day, this is not consistent.
Okay.
So for daily and weekly, any fresh level or any second touch level. Third touch, stay away. But if let's say this is the level that has been touched like what? 2 times already. It made the level here and then it touch second time, touch first time, touch second time. If you come here, just ignore. Okay? Just ignore. And then if price come here, break out the H4 level, just continue buying. But don't entry over here. Okay? Because this one is risky. And so another thing, if you open a level, if that level is nice, let's say it's a daily level, okay? If that level is nice, it's a nice fresh level, but you open on H4, at the same level, there's no SNR. You move lower. You see here? This daily level is fresh. First criteria is it's fresh. That's all you need for daily, weekly level. It doesn't need to be second level. And so you open here, you see that it's not nice, this SNR. You pull it down. This is a better one. So when price comes here, just take the shot with your 10 pip SL. Done. Okay.
Okay. So if we change to H4 chart and the level and H4 level is almost the same as the daily level, then we just use the daily level.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
And so if it looks like this, just pull it down a little lower, make it look nice. And so when it takes that, boom, slide. Okay, that's how I get most of my entries. My SNR is it's my, yeah, that's how I use my SNR. My SNR is very, very simple. First of all, I'll monitor whether that level, first of all, okay, the criteria is there are two different criteria for your H1 and H4. And then we have different criteria for your daily and weekly. Okay, for the H1 and H4, it must be fresh. Okay, it cannot be second point. It can obviously not third point. Okay, but then first of all, it must be fresh. Second of all, it must be the second level and above. Okay, and then here is where H4 and H1 changes. For H4, now you open H1. Once you open H1, if the level is exactly tuned, if H4 fresh, H1 fresh, just take the shot. Okay, if it's not fresh, if H1 looks like this, when you open it like this, just pull it down a little lower. Okay, just pull it down a little lower. And then for H1, just take the second level. It's enough already. Okay, and now for daily. Daily is the same as H4. Daily is the same as H4. Daily and H4 same. First, you find a fresh level or the second, but daily must set fresh or second touch. Okay, and then later you watch the recording lah. I'm going saying it very explicitly. Daily must first or second touch. Okay, and then it doesn't need to be second level. And then you go into H4. Go into H4, you see whether it's in line or not. If it's not in line, move it a little lower or a little higher. A little lower for buy, a little bit higher for sell. Higher for sell. And for weekly, just fresh level, enough already. Weekly, just find a fresh level, no need to precise, no need to nothing, just take the shot. Which is why you're going to see a lot of weekly levels. Yes.
So for weekly, we don't need to wait for H4 significant level break.
That one is for direction. This is we're talking about entries. So let's say if you find a fresh level on the weekly, just take the shot. Just take the shot. You don't need to open daily. You don't need to open daily and look closer, but no need. Once you find,
I see. So for example, a weekly buy level.
Right.
So the weekly buy level, and at the same time, H4 is still in uptrend.
Weekly buy level, H4 uptrend. What do you mean?
I mean, if the H4 is downtrend, right?
Okay, downtrend. Okay,
then the weekly level would be a potential reversal.
I get you. So basically, all the time, you're going to have to monitor for weekly levels. Okay, weekly levels are always key. If the first weekly breaks, you wait for the next weekly. Next weekly breaks, you wait for the next weekly. Eventually, the weekly will go up. Okay. So the thing is, even if H4 is in downtrend, it cannot fight weekly. The reason how to use H4, if once it touches here, right, then you open H4 to see. Okay, let's see. Remember my decision levels. So on the way approaching here, it must break this one, correct? So using H4, if this one breaks, you are now solid. You already know that it's about to go down even further. Basically, the break of a decision level is what starts a direction. Understood?
Yes.
So, back here. So basically, that's the explanation on H1, H4, daily and weekly. Okay. So M5 I'm going to cover at the very, very, very end. Okay. because I don't want you to get confused by my M5 bullshit. Okay, so okay, so yeah, H1 you use like that, H4 you use like that. Daily is about the same as H4, but then you don't need the second level, and fresh or second touch. Weekly, fresh or second touch. Third touch, very risky. So basically for the higher time frame levels, you can use 1 or 2 times. For the lower time frame level, which is H1 and H4, just use the first time. Okay. And so let's see what we have here. And also, side note. Let's say this is a weekly level. Okay. There are exceptions. And there is only one exception. One exception. So remember when I said that you must take the second level? Okay. There's only one exception to this, which is after a reversal. So let's say price, this is a daily or weekly level. Okay, daily or weekly level, not after reversal, basically after touching D or W level. Okay, so price goes here, pump, it breaks, right? So according to what I've taught you, this is your first level, this is your second level. Must take the short here, correct? But then you're going to find that it breaks this. Why did it break that? Because the reason being that after it touches a higher time frame level, always wait for the HNS. Always. Always, 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 always. The first HNS that happens. Okay? Price comes here, and then you're going to find it that is going to buy. And on what time frame this happens? Either H1 or H4. Okay? After it touches a weekly or daily level, and it breaks out a lot of things, okay? You don't take the second level. Wait for the H4 or the H1. One way I like to show you is down there, it took a daily or weekly level. There was a weekly level, there was a daily level, whatever lah, that was over there. And so price decided to go where? Price ignored everything and went here. Broke out. You're supposed to enter here. This is broke out this level. This is your first level. This is your second level. You're supposed to enter here. But why did it like not respect this level? It was because it just touched a higher time frame level. And so when price breaks out everything, just wait for the HNS. Price returns to the first HNS, price flies. Okay? So let's see another example of that. Over here. This is how I got the sell level over here. So first and foremost, this is my daily level. Okay? I got in this candle, I got the sell. In this candle, I got the sell. So this is my daily level, white on the left over here. Okay? And so now you open H4. I open H4. It's not fresh anymore. So, well, fuck it, it's okay. All right. And so what happened next was basically it did a reaction. Boom, went down. Like, oh, so you want to react on the daily, is it? Okay, okay. So what I did was I took the shot here. I ignored this level. I ignored everything over here. This one I ignored. This one, of course, you ignore. This one I ignored. I took this one here. Why? It was because this is the HNS that was created from the touch of the daily. If a HNS was created on the H1 or the H4 from the touch of a daily or weekly level, you wait for that. That one is your key level. That is where you entry. Okay? Cool. So for SNR, for H1 and H4, there are ways to use the, so basically we have 5 types, right? We have classic, breakout, gap, HNS, and BOBO. BOBO is nothing special lah. BOBO is nothing special. If it happens, it's just another level. Okay? But then for HNS, it's special. It must, for HNS, the best HNS is what happens after touching D or W. For classic and breakout, right? For classic and breakout, you must make sure have what? Miss. Very important for your H1 and H4 entries. And then for gap, you must make sure it is made of a wick candle. Okay? So what is a wick candle? A wick candle comes in 3 variations. Okay? 3 variations. The first one is this one, short, long. This one, okay, so this is A, and this is B. B must be more than 3 times longer than A. Okay? More than 3 times longer than A. This is your first wick candle. Second wick candle is super small body, super long shadow. Okay? Your third wick candle is no shadow, half shadow. Okay? These are your 3 variations of wick candles. So why am I telling you this? So basically,
these are bull candles.
No. It can be bull, it can be bear. Okay.
Okay.
Just make sure that one is 3 times longer than the other, or short body, long body, or it could also look like this. Okay. Understood?
So at least one long wick.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah. Well, no, this one is no shadow. Focus on the no shadow. Sometimes it could also look like this, like that, but then it doesn't have a shadow, right? Okay. So
Okay.
this one is also a wick candle. Okay. So what is this? This one is what changes your game lah, basically. Because the day I learned this, my game changed forever. Okay. So this one has to be the first candle in a gap. It has to be the first candle in a gap. So what do I mean? So let's say this is a gap, right? So let's say you want to sell, okay? Okay, wick candle variation 3, and then just a regular candle. Must be the first, okay? Over here, solid. Okay, very solid. This one, yeah, very, very solid. But then for wick candles, this one is more to a H1 thing. H4, just take the second level. H4, for I say, this is why, to be honest, this is where it gets complicated lah. Okay, but then just remember the rules. If you just rewatch the recording and listen properly to what I said, okay? H1, this is for gaps, refer to H1. H1 is the best lah for gaps. Okay, for H4, H1, the rules of gaps, classic, HNS, breakout, apply. Okay, gap must have wick candle. Classic must have miss. HNS is always the strongest if it comes after the reversal. Then breakout almost must have missed before or after or both, even better. But for H4, only the rules of classic, HNS, and breakout or H4. Okay, for gap is okay. For gap is okay, but for H1 it's very sangat extremely important for your gap to have a weak candle so that it becomes solid. Okay, so let's do some back testing because I'm done explaining my SNR entries. This is how I use SNR. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy, but the small tweaks in the way you learn SNR will change your game immediately. So let's see what we have here. I'm very bad at backtesting. I don't remember this, but let's see this. Okay. Oh yes. So recap. Remember, if you open a level, okay, you see a level, and then you open it, let's say H4. Okay, for H4, and then you open the level on the H1. It looks like this. Pull it higher. Okay, pull it higher. But if you see the level, if you open on the H1 scenario 1, and scenario 2, you see the level, it's perfect. Just take the shot. Okay, and this one applies on H4 and daily. Okay, and so H1 and H4, same thing. For H1, for H4 you open H1, for daily you open H4. Same rules apply. If it's the same level, you take the shot. If it's the same level, you take the shot. If it's the level is a bit lower or a bit higher, you adjust accordingly. For buy, you move it a little bit lower. For sell, you move it a little bit higher. Okay. And so let's see. Boom. I took a shot here. Let's open. I didn't take a shot. Did I take a shot? This was not nice lah, because I got only scalping over here. It took my BE. Over here, it took here. Boom, we went to take my BE. I'm like, okay, fine. Okay, let's go. And so I took another shot over here. This one here. Over there. See, it's perfect. It's in line with a nice level. Okay. And then price took it. And then price went down. Simple as that. Okay. And then let's see the H1. H1. Because right now, that wasn't a daily or a weekly point. Okay. That wasn't a daily or a weekly point. So if there is HNS, it's good. If there's no HNS, you don't necessarily need to. Basically, let's say in this case, what happened? In this case, let's say price drop real hard. Boom. And there is a HNS over here. You wait for it over here. But then the thing is, over here, the only level here is HNS. So what I did was, I marked this level and I marked this level. This is your first level. It's your second level. So I took the shot here. Another sell over here. So it's very nice. That's cool. And then next, what I did was, it broke out this level. It broke out this level. And what I saw was this one is not a good. This one is not a good SNR lah. Why? Because there's no miss before, because it touched already. After also not good. So what I did was I took here. I took here and I hit SL. I hit SL. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. Okay. Yeah, but then after it took my SL, it went down again. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what you want to do, huh? So what I did was basically over here there are two levels. There's this level that broke out, okay, and then there's this level. So I took this level, okay. So now we have one SL and 3 good entries. I was still holding this one. But the one I took over here, I took profit already because I wanted to cover for this loss. But then I was still holding this one. So it went down. And then what I did was, I took another entry here. First level. Down there, up here, second level. Okay. And then price went down. And then down here, I took profit everything. Why? Because down there was a weekly level. And so just take profit everything, and that's it. Get out of the market. Okay. To sell, I don't want to tell you how much I profited that day. But then I took a buy down there. But then it hit my 10 pip SL. Okay. I'm like, oh, never mind then. But then after it took my 10 pip SL, I saw it made this happen. Boom. Okay. So I'm like, okay, you want to fly, is it? You want to fly? Okay, fine. So what I did was, I took here. Why did I take here? Can someone tell me?
That's the HNS.
Correct. It's the HNS that happened after the weekly and day. Correct. 100% correct. Okay. And so price flew. And so what I did was, another way. You will mark 2 lines during your day. 2 lines. Let's see. So first of all, your first step is refining. Refine if need to refine. Like I told you, refine if need to refine. Okay. Next, your second line is just any SNR. Any SNR that is around 10 to 20 pips. Okay, so let me show you. So up there it went down. It went down because of this daily level. Okay, awesome. Hey, that was the wrong one. Why did it go down there? Why did you go down there, son?
Oh, I check.
Remember I took a shot there, but I can't remember why. I think it was because of this H4. Yeah, it was because of this H4. Unexpectedly, it took that H4. Like, oh, okay, cool. You want to go down? Fine, good for you. So what I did was, what we can do is just find a re-entry. So how do we find a re-entry? First of all, take the second level over here. Why is this a good one? Because this one is weak candle type 3. Why? Because very small, have shadow, don't have shadow. And so you mark another SNR, which is 10 to 20 pips. Okay, 10 to 20 pips away from your first level, your valid level. So you take this, it didn't take this one, but it took this one. Boom, and then it continued to go down. So down there, I decided to take profit. Why did I take profit down there? Because I realized that there was a daily level down here. Yes.
So the lowest time frame that you will refine is H1, right? You will not go to M30 to refine a H1 level, right?
Oh, okay. I will do that if the next H1 level is very far.
Okay.
If the next H1 level is beyond 20 pips, I'm going to go to M30.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. All right. And so H4 over here, you pull it down here. And of course, I will use my zone. If that one doesn't respect, it should respect this one. Not, but this one is 20. No, this is more than 20 pips, correct? So then I will go to H. I will go to H1 and I will maybe take this one. Understood? The second level, just take any SNR, which is 10 to 20 pips. That's all. Okay. So, yeah. This one is more than 20 pips. So I'll take the second level, but then we will entry at the first level. The second level is only, but you don't entry in the middle, okay? This is not zone. This is not zone. Doesn't work like this. It doesn't work like what? Entry in the zone. Do not entry in the zone. You entry on the first line. If it fails, you entry on the second line. Okay? And then and then yes.
So you will try 2 times for an entry, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I will try 2 times. And so up here we have this level. I think you guys get it lah. This one is not fresh, so you turn out to this one. And so from there, you find the second level that can be used as your second time level. Is it this one? 44.91. 44.99. See, I don't see that this is one. This is good. So yeah. So basically, if you will only go one time frame lower, that's all. So we were looking at H4, correct?
Yeah.
And so now that we refine down here, the H1 doesn't have anything, correct?
Yeah.
Have the second level. So you delete. You have only one line here. That's all you have.
Yeah.
So this is how the market speaks to me. That's all. So, and then down here, another one. This one is a good level. And then I will take this one. 60.9. Let's take this one. But then it didn't reach our second level, to our first level, then it fly. And why did I take this level? Because this is our first level and this is our second level, correct? And our second level must be very nice because there's no miss before, where there is miss after. And then same goes here. First level, second level. Our second level, remember, our first candle must be a weak candle for our gaps. And then second candle doesn't care what happened. Okay, so our first level that broke, our second level, just take the shot here. And our zone will be what? Our zone will be like this. Is this 10 or 20 pips? Yeah. No, it's not. 9.1. 9.1. So you're going to go to M30. You're going to take this one here. Understood? But then it decided to take this one. Price come, take here. And that's how I trade. My way is not fancy. If you're looking for something fancy, I'm afraid I'm not your guy lah. But then this is how I trade. And to me, the easier the better. And so let's say you didn't get the weekly. There was a weekly level up here that caused it to go down.
Yeah.
Let's say you didn't get the weekly. And there's nothing on the H4 yet. So what I did was you see you were in this candle lah. You were in this candle. There's nothing on the H4 yet. So you take the entry on the H1. Where? This one is your first level, correct? So this one can boost. And then this is your second level. Why is this a good second level? Why? Because this is weak candle type 1. This one is 3 times more than this one, clearly, correct? And so you take the level. Very, very simple. The simpler, the better. And I guess you can guess lah what homework I want to give you. I want you to tell me the valid levels. Now want to tell me, okay, this level, would you entry at this level or not? And then you're going to use, and most of the time, you will have to base your analysis on storyline. Why did I choose to? Because it touched the weekly.
Yeah.
It touched the weekly. And so now I'm just choosing to sell. And so in my opinion, this is the decision level. It broke already, correct?
Yeah.
I'm looking for continuing selling lah. Unless it touched his level already. So right now, yeah.
We'll see
So,
tomorrow. I think.
so it could go down, it could go up. And some people
Yeah.
ask, why go down, go up? You don't have enough knowledge, is it? This is my knowledge.
Yeah.
Because my knowledge says it can go up and it can go down. So let's just see what happens next week.
Yeah.
So the rules always applies. Same thing. Always applies. So let's backtest some more. You see? Where are you? You see how it broke level? This one I got BE lah, this one. Here, this is our first level. This is our second level. Okay. Down here, I know that it took a daily level. Okay. It took a daily level. And so I saw this level and then, oh my, it flies 60 pip, maybe I want to fly higher, but then it go down, take my BE, piece of shit lah, this thing. And so, but then what I saw was, there was this HNS down here. It wanted to take this HNS. Okay. So one thing about HNS, on the H4, specifically on the H4 only, for your HNS on the H4, it is excused to take first level. But as long as you open H1, have another level as well. So you open H1, it's also fresh, correct? So just take it, pop, go up again. And then so if you're crazy, if you like to scalp, you can take this one for your scalping. And then it goes, and then finally after it go up, suddenly it take the daily level over here, and then it did a breakout. And you see that there is HNS over here. But this is your valid level, correct? But then this level is overridden. You cannot take that level. Why you can't take that level? Because we have a HNS. You take this HNS, and it go down. So that's the art of storyline. The way I trade, every day I'll have only like 3 setups, not many, 3 or 4 setups, and it comes from my H1, H4, sometimes daily, like once a week. There's a weekly setup, sometimes once every 2 weeks. And then, but this is how I trade. This is how I write the story. Nothing to Nila. It's nothing so fancy. This is how I trade. And so let's see another one. Okay, I took another buy over here. I took a buy over here. How did I take a buy over there?
Yep.
For this HNS. Okay. Then I open H1. When I open H1, there was, this one is risky lah. This one is risky. This is actually a level that I didn't teach lah. Okay. This one is this one, like this. Sorry. This one. I call this the broken HNS. And so this one is inconsistent. But then I also chose as to validate my level, because I thought to myself, this is not my first level. This is my second level. So I like, halala, boleh lah. And I'm like, okay, cool. And there's a lead, take it, they fly. I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. But then the good one, the best one is over here lah. The best one is over here. I took this one, but got my BE, but it went 60 pips. And then I took this one. This one was in line with H4. Yeah. And so it will go up, and then yet again, if you want to find a re-entry, you could always find it over here. Why? Because this is your second level, and where's your first level? how did I get the entry there? Yeah, you could take this lah. Take this as your second, your first level, and down here is your second level. Up, price take, and then price go up. Continuing the storyline. The storyline of what? The storyline of daily down here. And how did I get an entry down here? Well, I'm going up just a bit into trend lines lah. Actually, the trend line was pretty far. Yeah, I was a H4 trend line. I don't pull any other trend line than H4 actually.
Mm.
You've seen my videos lah, because I don't like lah other trend lines, they are not consistent.
Mm.
Yeah. And down there was a daily level. Yeah. So and over here also there was a daily level. See? Over there was a daily level down here that caused it to go up. Daily or weekly, I forgot. Boom, it go up, and then I ignored everything over here. I just continued selling. I ignored everything. And then it took here. Wow. It took this level. Why? Because it's the HNS that was created after a daily or weekly movement. And so after that, if you didn't get that level, you could always buy again over here. I take this as my second level lah. My first level over here, my second level over here. Okay, and then press fly again. And then if you still didn't get that one, you could always take. This is your first level. This is your second level. Boom. Price goes up again. So yeah, that's how I trade basically. And then if you still didn't get that one, you could take this as your first level. But then this one is your second level, but it is not nice. So I took the third level, the proper one. But then of course your SL is 10 pips. So you open this, and I'm not ashamed to tell you that I took my SL, because my SLs are very small. My SLs are very small. I'm not selling you a holy grail technique, bro. I'm selling you a technique that I genuinely use and I'm profitable with. Over here. And you're done. It did not take your first line, but it decided to take my second line. Okay.
Can you please explain to us once again, because you keep saying 10 pips SLT. So let's say for this case,
I'd say that the worst case scenario is 20. The worst case scenario is that you took it 2 times.
Okay.
But when for every trade, I'm just going for every line basically.
Yeah, because my understanding for SL, usually if we want to sell, our SL will be on the above swing high. I've heard near swing high.
I've heard about that, but then I use that, and then the thing is when you're what, I feel like I've heard about that, but the thing is that if you do that, L is damn big, bro. It's damn big. Yeah. So I decided to recording. Oh, okay. Okay. So I decided to use this because, and you can see with your own eyes, if it doesn't take first line sharp, it takes the second line very sharp, and it rarely hits your SL lah. But then SL, if you take like what 15 trades a week, it's gonna hit like 3 times. 3 times. Sometimes on a very bad week, 5. You know, but then but then on a very bad week, very bad week, it's 5. But then that has not been happening to me for a long time already lah. Last week I took like 2 or 3. Yeah. So yeah.
So one thing that I want to confirm, so let's say in one level you find the first level and you find the second level. The SL and pips is let's say you want to sell
for every
the SL will be placed above the second level, right?
Let's say I took the sell at 74.61, correct? My SL will be 73.61. And so clearly over here, it took my SL. But then I see, okay, first level done. It's all right. You take the second level. The second level, I entry at 73.54, correct? I will be putting L at 72.54. Okay? And so I will take 2 entries. First one over here, fail. Never mind. It's okay. And second one over here, it fly at what, 50 pips? 40 pips.
Cover.
Confirm. Settle.
Yeah.
So basically to me, SL is not a big deal. SL is just a part of just a part of the trading process. But then is this high win rate? Definitely. Can this be consistent? Most definitely. I passed
Understand.
Awesome. I passed 2 of my MFF challenges just using this, and I don't want to brag about money lah, but I'm living in the UK. Yeah. So
Understand.
awesome.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. And so basically that's the end of our. Yes. Go ahead.
So you mark these 2 levels. And then do you use M5 or M1 to validate which level is gonna work?
Basically, this is already enough. M5 and M1 is for my early cut loss. Okay, it's for my early cut loss. Actually, on the second level, there is a way to determine whether you can cut loss early or not. Okay, so your maximum SL is just 20 pips. Your maximum is 20 pips lah. Basically, if let's say the worst case scenario, 2 levels it break. Okay, 2 levels it break, maximum is 20. But then if you use M5, sometimes it can go between, sometimes M5 say it's about to break, early signs. Okay, sometimes it goes up a bit, pop, I cut. Okay, and I cut in like what, profit still. Okay, but then later I'm going to find it goes down again. But there is on M5, the only way I use M5 is not to entry, it's for my early signs. Early signs to cut loss on my second level. Okay. If M5 does something on the second level, it is impossible that the second level will hold. Okay, but that one I'll keep until the very end of our session. Okay. Yeah. And so basically that's it for today, right? So later after this, I'm going to send you homework. I'm going to send you homework, and basically the homework is basically determining, let's say in a day, how many valid levels can you find, and how will you react on those levels? You're going to tell me that lah. Okay, and then after that, for our next session, we're going to go through trend lines and how do you use trend lines in my way of using. A lot of other people use trend lines in a different way. Sometimes they pull a M30 trend line on a H4 level to determine whether the level is valid. But to me, I understand whether a SNR is valid or not based on my first level, second level, and my weak candle and my miss. That's enough. I don't need to pull a trend line on a H4 level to determine whether it is valid or not. Okay, that's my way of using. So my way of using.
Do you only use trend line on H4?
Correct. I use trend line on H4 just to determine how far possibly a daily or weekly level of price can go. Can you get me?
Okay, cool.
Let's say this is a daily level. This is a daily level. Then this is a trend line. I won't entry over here. I won't entry at all over here. I will take this entry down here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's how I use trend line. My trend line is only H4. My trend line, I think
you basically only use it for potential daily or weekly reversal.
Correct. Because this is my opinion lah. My opinion is that I feel like for H1, H4, the use of trend line is unnecessary for those levels. I feel like lah, because as you can see, I think for H4 and H1, SNR is enough. I don't need to pull an additional trend line to validate my SNR. That's that's my understanding on it. Okay. So yeah, that is all for today. You guys have any questions?
I'm good.
Awesome. Okay, so boys and girls, thank you so much for joining today's session. And I'll see you in my DMs where I'll mark your homework. And also I like to apologize. Yeah, I like to apologize because my life has been pretty busy lately. But then expect my reply to be between maybe on the same day if you're lucky, sometimes after a day or two, but I will not leave you on red only. Okay, I will not leave you like just like, bro, is this correct? I won't. If that happens, text me 2 times, because that is most probably a careless mistake. But then I will not leave you like, I will not leave you during our sessions lah. In our sessions, I will not leave you like cold turkey just like that. Okay, so I like to
Okay, thank you.
apologize. I left you guys a bit late lah. Okay, and Fauzi, make sure you send your homework later.
Yeah, sure, sure. No problem.
Awesome. All right, boys and girls, I'll see you in our next session. All right.
Okay, thank you, T.
All right.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Cheers.
All
Thanks,
right.
bro.
Thank you, Aputi.
All right. You're